What is going on out there, peeps? All right, let's get back into the Iraqi Dinar a little bit. Again, I seen posts in there going, Pimpy gave up on Iraqi Dinar. No, I haven't. There's just, the news has been consistently the same with very little change happening. Okay? So, it just gets old saying all the time, saying Erbil and Baghdad are close to a deal. Erbil and Baghdad are close to a deal. The 2021 budget, you know what I mean? You see these things. Before, we used to have a lot of different things to talk about. So I am monitoring it just so you guys know. Okay, but there's something else I want to show you guys that you might be interested in here in just a second. If you guys are thinking about buying precious metals, give a consideration to our friends over there at Money Metals Exchange. The link is in the description. If you are a first-time buyer here in the United States or Puerto Rico, and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and get a free ½ ounce of silver. All right, you guys know I got the hidden things in front of your eyes. It's my other YouTube channel. Over here, I talk about things that I cannot talk about on this channel. As a matter of fact, even on this channel over here, they're starting to flag me again. All right, but come over there if you're not already. There's a lot of different things in there I talk about that you might be interested in. And as you guys know, I do have Pimpy's investment chat, but what I want to point out to you is this right here. See this video? Go in there and check this out because there is a program in there. So it is kind of lengthy. It's an hour, 34 minutes. The first part of it is me covering gold, silver, cryptocurrencies. But there's a program I want to introduce to you guys if you haven't seen it already. And in there it shows you this platform. So a lot of people ask me about, where to learn about cryptocurrencies. And so, there's different types of academies out there, but they're very, very expensive. So when somebody, AJ in April, turned me on to this platform here, and I was like, okay, then I went through it. And this platform, just so you guys are aware, I'll get it out in the open, that they're multi-level, but I'm not a huge fan of multi-level. But when I went onto the platform and I saw all their products, I was like, wait a minute, actually all the products on there I'm interested in. And so I bought some because I won't speak about something unless I try it myself. But they had a platform on there, they had a course on there for cryptocurrencies. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. But it's more than that. It's way more than that. And I encourage you guys to come watch this video. And then even in this video and that video there, there's a link down that says cryptocurrency courses. So they do teach you about cryptocurrencies, but they do a lot more than that. You see, they teach you about cryptocurrencies. They also teach you about Forex trading, which is foreign exchange. In other words, currency trading. Like if you're into the Vietnam Dong, the Iraqi Dinar, they teach you about what to look for. They have so many tools on there, it's not even funny. Now, if you don't have a lot of money, it might be kind of hard to get the course because there's a little bit, it's not really too costly. It ranges from like $99 a month to a little bit higher, but you get different tools that are on there. And I encourage you guys to watch this video, okay? I really do, because it's a little bit lengthy, but you'd be so shocked what they have in there. You could trade cryptocurrencies on there. They even show you how to do it. So you're getting taught what to look for, how to analyze, how to read news articles. They teach you how to Forex, beginners courses. They have a bank on there, a digibank. Yeah, and you get a credit card if you're bored with it. So hold your cryptocurrencies on there, and you can use your cryptocurrencies on this credit card. It's pretty badass. You guys got to check it out. But it has so many more useful tools on there. And when I saw this, I said, I haven't seen anything like this. I've seen other platforms that talk about cryptocurrencies and they want to teach you, but nothing like this. This definitely was unique, and so I was more than happy to go aboard with this company. Now, they do have other products, but I'm not ready to talk about them, not quite yet, because the one thing that will interest you guys is this cryptocurrency course. I think so. So for you to go check it out, watch that video, let me know what you think. If you are interested in it after you watch the video, there is a link down where you can go to the cryptocurrency courses and sign up for it. Now, having said that as well, don't forget, this is a multi-level platform. They have products on there. You could sell them if you want to make money, all right? You can get commissions off it. It's actually not bad. All the products on there I like, so I was so shocked, all right? But you don't have to be multi-level. You could just be a person on there that's a client. If you just want to do the course and nothing else, you have the option to do that. But I'm just saying to you, there are people out there trying to figure out how to make a living, stuck in the Corona times, and you're stuck at home and you don't have a job. You might want to at least go check that out and see what you think. Okay? So if you look at the video and it's clicking, you guys know this. Some of you might not. If you come down here when it says show more right here, you click it. Okay, so there's a link for Money Metals. Here it is, cryptocurrency course. And if you want to do the multi-level, it also has CBD oils, really good ones. So as a matter of fact, that's some in my package that I got. So just go at least check them out, see what you think. It is right here. It is Start Your Own Business. This is the one if you're interested in it. If multi-level something you want to do, I know a lot of people are usually turned off at the idea of multi-level, but in this case, I think you should at least go check it out. You'd be very surprised at what you see, what they offer. It's unbelievable. They really have a variety of things in there that to offer people. So if you're interested in starting your own business, this is a chance to do it right here. Follow the link. All right. If you want to look into CBD oils, they have a great variety of them here. If you want to take the cryptocurrency course, they're all part of the same company, but these take you specifically to those items. I just wanted to share that with you because this was, look at already 4,000 people has looked into this. You got to look at this program. It's unbelievable, the things they offer. Okay, so it's part of a webinar from the CEO, and he explains things to you. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I got a little sidetracked, but so again, I go through the news articles every day. I know people go, "Oh, this said something about the rate," and I go, "Yeah, I know, but just be careful. Make sure you want to read it." And I understand that there's people out there that will maybe have a different opinion in what they're interpreting, but I'm going, no, that's not what it says. Okay, so there are some good things, and yes, I haven't covered them, but I'm going to now, and that is, okay, so they're getting ready to vote on the budget here this next Saturday. As you guys are very well aware, so this is the parliament sessions to vote on the draft federal budget law for 2021. So again, we're still waiting for the budget to be passed, but I think the holdup is the fact that Erbil and Baghdad have not come up with agreement. So far, I think they agreed on the amount of oil that's being shipped, but have not agreed on the Kurdistan's portion of the budget that we get. I think they're at 12.2% at the moment. So again, they're going back and forth. A lot of these articles are pretty much the same. This is a great approach between Baghdad and Erbil to resolve continuous files. Okay, so more about the meeting. The boys are back in town. Okay, so in the parliament, it's not permissible to include in the budget the regional salaries apart from the oil file. Again, this is some tweaking they had to do to the budget. There's some amendments that were being offered, so they're changing the budget. But there's nothing in there that I think you'd be interested in. I might be wrong, but there really isn't. Okay, it's just talking about, again, the different things that the budgets are going to, how they're going to handle the salaries. We know that they were escalating the salaries over a decade, so now they ask them to take a reduction, whether or not the poor people should have taxes taken out. Those types of things right there. But again, also other things in which they would, here's the part right here. This was like, the committee reduced the size of the budget from 164 trillion dinars to about 127.5 trillion and raised the estimate price of the barrel of oil from $42 to $45. I remember talking about this before. I thought that was a good thing because oil was much higher. As a matter of fact, be happy. Oil's up at $61. So if they only budgeted for an average of $45 and it's at $61 and stays there, that means they're getting a lot more money in than they had anticipated, which means they can really start paying a lot of the deficit down, or at least start financing more projects than they anticipated. When they say projects, these are things that they want to do in the private sector to start creating jobs. And so that's a good thing. Okay, so the more money that they have that they did not budget for, that's a good thing. All right, so we want to keep an eye on the oil. We want to keep an eye on any adjustments in this budget that stick out, but for the most part, these don't. Iraq discussed support from the World Bank and the financing institutions to secure corona vaccines. I'm not a fan of the World Bank or the IMF. Every time any country deals with them, there's always some hidden agenda that they have. There's always strings attached, and it never benefits a country. All right? So they were able to create monetary policies to help keep inflation down for Iraq, but it did not allow them to expand economically. And so the so-called elites took advantage of it in different ways, and that rubbed Dr. Shabibi the wrong way. He said the rate should have already happened. It should have already been increased. And, he said that he felt like this was a bad move. Nonetheless, we are where we are. I think they should deal more within the Arab Monetary Fund, because that's 22 or 23 nations that signed on to that. They're a lot better to deal with. That's dealing with your other sister brother countries next to you, you know what I mean? And not dealing with the so-called deep state or the, globalists. So they're never healthy for a nation. So it goes on here to talk about what they're going to do to help them get the vaccines over there, and how, again, here we go. This support is provided by the World Bank, and they're getting in bed with the wrong people. This is not good. It doesn't help the Iraqi people, and it definitely doesn't help us in any way, shape, or form. Sauder announced his support for the prestige of the state and his position on the role of the United Nations in the elections. So I like the fact that Sauder's been very supportive, which is kind of surprising a little bit. But again, he wants to be supportive on this. He wants to make sure there's fair, open, and transparent elections. So I'm glad to see that him and his supporters are supporting this election. Barzani's talking about, look, if we can't get something resolved between us and Baghdad, then we'll go ahead and create our own budget. We're good to go. As a matter of fact, it was 2-3 months ago, they had already started negotiating their own deals for their oil if they could not come up with something with Baghdad. So it just gets into the same thing I'm talking about, but a lot more detail. More of the budget. So it says the government has received the 2021 budget, the amendments. So they gave them 2 days to study it. So they're already on their first day with one more to go. But it just said they're going to go ahead and vote on the budget on Saturday. So we'll see what happens, or at least the draft. This is good. It's really extensive, but all I can tell you is that it's talking about it takes 8 decisions, including creation of the High Reform Commission. Basically, it's in here. It talks about all the things they're making happen. They're going to go ahead and change the roles of certain departments and what they do and what they're responsible for. But it also talks about financing private sector projects. So that's good. That's more jobs for people. That's what we want to see. Okay, it's just very extensive. You can go in there and read it. The link is always in the description. I just don't want to sit here and read all this and would bore you to death. So I wanted to get, I know where it's at. Okay, so for the most part, that's what it is. You come down here, it's talking about the elections and what needs to be done. I like this. There it is, oil at $61 a barrel. It's going to keep climbing. My projection was by the time we get to summer, you might actually see it creep up there around $80 a barrel. I think what they were looking for was a projection of $100 a barrel. And if they budgeted for 45 and get that high, that would be awesome. Okay, so I was sent this particular article, and I'm sorry, I don't remember who the hell sent it to me. But it says this: Economics Parliament cannot change oil prices and the dollar on a 2021 budget. So when it goes in there talking about how they're going to change it from $42 to $45 a barrel of oil, and that they went ahead and changed the exchange rate, and now they're talking about amending it, this person saying that's not going to happen. An economist confirmed on Saturday that the 2021 budget is moving towards a vote, and Parliament cannot amend the exchange rates of the dollar or sell oil. And Tony said in a statement to the information agency, it is not within the powers of the House of Representatives to change and amend exchange rates and oil prices, whether the prices are high or low, as these are the exclusive powers of the government. He added that after the central bank approved the new exchange rates in agreement with the government, the budget numbers are not subject to amendments and cannot be changed by Parliament. In a related context, he emphasized the decrease or lack of central bank sales is a reflection of the change that occurred in the exchange rate of dollars, which pushed the merchant and citizens to not risk and engage in new trade in light of the economic transformation of the Iraqi market. So what does this mean? What are they talking about right here? Well, remember we were seeing the auctions happen, and the people were holding on to the American dollars instead of auctioning them off. So when they sell oil, Iraq does, they get paid in greenbacks, which are American dollars. Once they get them, they take them over to the bank, they auction them off to different countries. What happens is they're able to get the currency of that country, and it helps build up the reserves. So this is how they build up their foreign reserves, strengthen it. But if they don't part with the U.S. dollars because the banks don't want to get rid of them, so keep in mind there's several banks, and then they decide which ones how much they want to part with and put into auction. Okay, that's what they do to whoever's controlling the auction. I think it's now Kurdistan took over. I might be wrong, but nonetheless, there was a lot of fraud going on. So that's what happens. They sell or auction off the greenbacks for different currencies so they can build up their foreign currency reserves. That's what we want to see them do. But if they don't part with the American dollars, the US dollar, then it's really hard for them to build up the reserves. And that's the problem. That's what they're talking about right here. It says the decrease or lack of central bank sales is the reflection of the change that occurred in the exchange rate. So people lost confidence in the dinar. That was one of the warnings they had before they lowered the rate. I told you, it was my opinion, that this is not going to stay this low. They're already looking for excuses to already bump it back up. I think it's going to go up in increments. So I understand there might be an RI or an RV that's announced. That's still possible. But what I'm trying to point out to you is there are other factors that still might make it go up regardless. Not just an announcement of an RI, not just an announcement of an RV, other factors. One of them is the fact that they're anticipating a 40 to 60% loss in the power of the US dollar this year. In other words, a total collapse of the US dollar. Well, what does that do for us? Well, for US dollars, it sucks. Your purchasing power has been reduced. But in the exchange rate, if it drops 40 or 60%, then those other currencies gain 40 to 60% in the exchange rate. That means then this would change. How much Iraqi dinar we get for our money or how much money they get for the dinars. That's when you'll see increments or changes in the exchange rate that you'll be very happy with, okay? So that's what we're looking for. So speaking of, if you guys are still looking for some dinars, check out our friends over there in the Nesara Shop. They do have the Iranian Rial, okay? And they ship anywhere in the world. The Vietnam Dong's here, so is the Zim dollar. But I encourage you guys to come on over here. It's really hard to find the Iranian Rial. That's because it is illegal to have. So, having said that, I have them. So, that's okay. Because I'm anticipating some stuff happen over in Iran. But to my surprise, China has not given the marching orders to Biden yet, because Biden won't lift sanctions until Iran halts uranium enrichment. So here's what I think is really happening. This story to me, I think, is just BS. President Biden said that the U.S. will not lift sanctions against Iran unless the country stops enriching uranium, continuing a standoff with the country's supreme leader, who has demanded the sanctions be lifted before the country returns to the obligations under the 215 nuclear deal. I think this is bullshit. I think they are purposely holding out and not doing this nuclear deal because they are letting Iran continue to build the thing. Do you see what I'm saying? They're just like, while we're over here, they're building it. We're just going to hold out until they stop. No, they have no intentions. They don't want them to stop. They want them to have a nuclear bomb. When I say they, I'm talking about the elites or whatever you want to call them. All you had to do is take a look at how they structured the 2015 nuclear deal in the first place. They had no intentions of stopping them. They have no intentions of stopping them now. This just gives the appearance that they're being stubborn and want to accomplish something with them, when in fact, I think they're just letting them build the bomb and they're just using this as an excuse. They can actually go in there and stop them. As a matter of fact, Israel took a shot at and killed one of their nuclear scientists recently. So every time, I thought it's a bad time to be a nuclear scientist over there in Iran, because you could wake up dead one day. Yeah, because they don't want you helping Iran create uranium enriched nuclear ready or weapons grade ready uranium. So we don't want that. But I think this is just a farce. I think this is more of just letting them do that and making this look like they don't want them to do that. That's what I think this is. So I know I was waiting for the sanctions to be lifted. I was feeling pretty positive that it would get done right away. I still think it's going to be done sooner than later. But I was hoping that this guy would do it sooner than later so that we could watch the Iranian Rial increase in value for us. So, I mean, I got my 10 million. I'm cool. I'm going to hold on to it. So I just wanted to share that story. And they do got the Iranian real here. It's hard to get. It's very rare. All right. So that's it for now. You guys let me know what you think. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel. And I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later.